Anyway, that's...
Have you ever spoken to him or not really?
Yeah, a little bit, but like when it's needed, Baruch Hashem, I see people here who connect. When you sense that someone like really wants to connect, like
We spoke yesterday.
oh Baruch Hashem, there's good people here. There's it's like mitzvah iyah shel acher. Like if it's a mitzvah that nobody else can do, so then do it. But if it's something that's Baruch Hashem, when you're in a community, there's quite a lot of people around. So everyone has their thing that they can do. So Beit Hashem, I hope so. Someone just asked me to make a big loan. All right, I can't give the money. Just that's my situation. I asked someone in England, and guess what? He's going on the oil. Like it's a new. I'd never been there in his life.
He's going where?
To the oil, to the Rebbe's oil. As I messaged him, so he's not in a situation where he can start organising that, and he only had an hour anyway. So. Mr. Hashem, the person will find someone. I said to the person, you've got to go through your list. I'll try a few people that I know, but can't do everything for everyone. Part of the beauty of being a human is that we're limited. So one of the accomplishments of what we have done in this show, and the reason why we're learning Vayta Likutei Moharan, well, we'll get back to the other Svarim, the Shari Baal Shem Tov and the Baruch Hashem, the beautiful Torahs of Rav David Daniel Cohen, the Mashiach thing. Remember, you'll bring it in one day. But until we get to that, we're carrying on every week with the Holy Doctor of the Soul, Rabbi Nachman Breslov, and we're learning about Torah Lamed Vav. Torah Lamed Vav, Lashon Rabbeinu Zichron Lebracha. This is the Torah, the language of Rabbeinu Nachman ben Feig and Nachman ben Simcha Zechus Aleinu. We need big Yeshuas, like Am Yisrael going through a lot, and the world's going through a lot right now. Hopefully we'll have good news. If you know what we're talking and referring to, we'll have good news. Anyway, it says like this, important. Says the pasuk. Where exactly is the pasuk is Psalms 27. Yeah, we say it in L'David Hashem Uri. Not everyone, this pasuk gets so excited about it. Yeah, it's a pasuk in L'David Hashem Uri. And amazingly, we've got to this point of the 36th Torah of Likutei Moharan. We did a bunch of Torahs all around Likutei Moharan, but we've been going straight from Aleph all the way till now. And I hopefully one day we'll get through the whole Sefer. Why not? Yeah, there's Hashem. We're learning it properly with thanks to Breslov.org and the other Perushim that there are available, which are many, Baruch Hashem. But we're focusing here. So he says in Tehillim, and we'll just translate it inside. It says the David Hashem Uri, half Zion 27. For some reason I went to Lamed Zion. Okay, it says like this, and everyone said this pasuk many times during Elul and Tishrei, when they would approach against me evildoers, la'ochel, to devour espasori. The way you think about that pasuk, you start thinking in our generation of zombies or something. These flesh-eating monsters start tearing into you. So how's Rabbi Nachman going to help us with this beautiful psalm that's a big Yeshua for us in the time of Elul and Tishrei, and throughout the year, obviously, anytime you say it to him, it has power. So we know now with already Pash Lechacha that we're building Am Yisrael. And Am Yisrael, through Avraham, YITZCHAK, and Yaakov, these coming Parshias of BORUCH, we're building the Am of Beit Yaakov to become by the Pasha of, we hear this concept of Shivim Nefesh, the Beit Yaakov, showing Beit Yaakov, the 70 souls of the house of Jacob, if you want to say in English. These 70 souls are talked about in the Parashas when we go down to Mitzrayim. And remember, it uses the Lashon of Nefesh, so they're all really one soul. That's one of the beautiful things of Klal Yisrael, Nefesh Achas, we're one soul, united souls. So he uses this Lashon of the 70 souls of Beit Yaakov, V'shivim Nefesh of Beit Yaakov, Mishorshim V'shivim Panim Shel Torah. So the beautiful concept is, remember, Klal Yisrael, we're one with the Torah, and Torah is one with Hashem. Kudsha Baruch Hu Chad, Arais Chad, and YISRAEL Chad. We're all one, as the Zohar says. And the Zohar only...
There's 70 nations of the world.
We haven't got there yet.
70 nations. I'm saying, we just hear the number 70, I'm like, 70 nations.
True. We'll get there in a second.
I feel like...
First, we're talking about the Kedusha
side.
side.
It's not an exactly accurate number. It's just saying that there's many.
Well, no, it is. Everything's very exact.
70,
Sorry, Ari. Everything is... I don't like to ever make someone feel like this and I'm not correct. But with these concepts are very exact, and there is a connection. We'll see 70 souls levels of Klal Yisrael, Shorish levels of Klal Yisrael, which went into Mitzrayim, and it's Nefesh Achas, and there's 70 faces to Torah.
Still till today.
Yep, Shivim Ponim the Torah.
By the way, I just read the Rebbe Sachs.
Yeah.
Said that he once spoke at a religious conference that had all the religions of the world there.
Yeah.
And he counted up 70.
Very good.
Or in one way, shape, or form, they were all from.
Okay, and we're going to see this, exactly what you're saying now. Wait, hold on. Zeh la'uma zeh asa elakim, and everything in Torah is balanced. So there's going to be the opposite of this Kedusha level of 70 souls of Yaakov and the 70 faces of the Torah. There's going to be, what's the opposite that Hashem made? Hashem made an opposite, because it has to be balanced in this one. It has to be Bechira, it has to be free will, free choice. So that if it was all just Yaakov and Kedusha and Torah, it has to, what's the opposite? Can I get Shivim Nefesh on Beit Yaakov, Heim Shivim Loshin? There's 70 languages. Shekol Loshin, Loshin Yesh La Mida Ra, because every language has its own not good attribute in itself. MASHA Ein B'chavata. Machmas Amidas Ha'eluhem Merachachim B'shivim Panim Shel Torah. So it doesn't yet say this concept of the 70 nations, but it is Yedua that the languages come from the 70 nations. Yeah, and where do we see these 70 nations appear? First, let's go back. We're in Lech Lecha, but let's go back one Parshas Noach.
Yeah,
And it's listed. The 70 nations are listed. You can take an art scroll explanation, and there's 70 nations
that's what
that
it
come
is,
out from that.
That whole Shvi.
Yeah, that whole.
section
We went through all those Zerah.
Does that count Palestine?
No, definitely not. They don't exist. No such thing. Made up.
It's just a bad
So
joke.
I know that, but I have to say it anyway.
So
that
the
it's
idea
Cornish.
being that there's 70 nations.
They're probably more shaykh to the 71st, which is Amalek. Yeah, sorry to say that, but not all of them. Maybe, I don't know. Baseless. Okay, but yeah, go on, Karen.
Meaning that there's 70 nations opposite our 70 souls and Panim La Torah.
70. So that's the Kedusha, and then there's the 70 nations.
That are like the evil side. The other
Well,
side.
it doesn't have to be evil.
Counterbalance. It's like Bill Moshe.
It doesn't have to be evil, because remember, I once learned a beautiful sefer that's Alpi Kabbalah sefer, which maps out creation. You have the Kisei HaKoved in the middle, and you have these 70 nations around Am Yisrael. These 70 nations have a malchus, have a kingship towards the ultimate king, which is Hashem. Yeah? There's 70 Sarim, 70 nations, angels that rule over each of those nations, like Malachim, angel powers that rule over. There's a point to it. It's all to give cover to Hashem ultimately, yeah, to give honor to Hashem, and that's based on the Kabbalah Swarm. So the point is that when it comes back to Likutei Moharan here, the way Rabbi Nachman's beginning is with the 70 souls, 70 faces to the Torah, and then there's 70 languages. And within each language, there's a midah ra. There's something that's not good that needs to be fixed. And they're actually further from the sense. So it doesn't mean the nation's ra or the language ra, but there's a nakuda within the language, and there's a nakuda within the nation which is bad, which needs to be fixed. So part of the Golus is we go out to all these 70 nations, which we've done. That's Golus at this point of history. We're now influenced all the 70 nations. And the hope is we've pulled out, as Shimshon Pinchas said, we've pulled out a certain nakuda from each nation that we've mirrored a little bit of that nation. We've come back to Eretz Yisrael, Kibbutz Goliath, with a little nakuda from that nation that's good, and we've fixed up the not good. We've done the biro, we've clarified. And that will help the nations also, all the Goyim will be all back to them, that they'll be elevated, whatever they're. But we have to first sort of descend there to fix it. And we've done that. We're everywhere. But to come back to this Torah here, the only way we can do it is through the Shivim Panim Shel Torah. The 70 faces of the Torah.
Like I did today.
Yeah.
So let's say with Chaim Kanievsky, for example.
Yes.
Would you say that he represents, let's say, one of the 70?
No.
Panim?
No. He would be someone who's on a level to probably help us connect to this all 70. Meaning he's
higher even.
Yeah, he's like if he's the God Lador, which he probably was, and according to most people.
Okay. Again, we don't know exactly. But I'm just.
I don't know exactly, but through their connection to the Torahs of Tzaddikim, they have an access to these Shivim Ponim. They've access in all the different faces.
Like Breslov is like one of the 70.
No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Kanievsky.
It's not like that. No. It's not like that. No, it says Ber Hativ. That's the Torah. You have to clarify the Torah in Devarim. In Devarim, all the way and we have to create these clarifications for all the nation of the Torah. It was actually something which we don't really see anyone explains it so much. But when we came to Eretz Yisrael, we had to create these amodim, these pillars, to clarify the Torah for all the nations. We don't see it so much, but it's not discussed so much. Yeah, because they're going to come visit us and bring their korbanos, like we see Sukkah. And we have to bear hate it. We have to clarify the Torah clear. But just not just for Amisol, for the whole world. Not that we're teaching the Torah, but we're clarifying what the Torah's relevance is to them. Like the Shiva Mitzvahs, B'nai Noach. Because remember, there's 7 nations in Eretz Yisrael, and the 7 multiplied by 10 to 70. Where else do we see this concept of 70? We see it by Kiddush. Yain is Gematria 70. Sod is Gematria 70. So when a Yid makes Kiddush with the 70 letters of words, the 70 words of Kiddush, there's 35 in the first part, 35 in the second part. That's the Fida Arizon, not the extra words that are added according to other minhagim, but the words, the Fida according to the Arizon in the Nusach Sfar, we say Kiddush 70 words before Brei Piragofin and after Brei Piragofin. 35 before and 35 after, add up to 70. So we're fixing up all the 70 nations every time we make Kiddush like Shabbos. And that's, once again, all the attributes, all the midah.
As a term of let's say 5 different pshot in Torah, or even if it's against halal, I don't know.
Yeah, Shivim Panim LaTorah.
Shivim Panim LaTorah, but that's really not.
And there's also Chamishim Sharim as well. That's not to complicate it, but the Sfas Emes brings it down. There's also the 50 levels of gates of wisdom. Yeah, so it can get complicated. There's Sharim. There's gates. So there's gates of Torah. Bina is the 50th gate. There's 50th gate. There's 70 faces of Torah. But the point here, we're talking about the aspect of fixing up the midah within the nations, the not good midas within the nations, through the languages, through the way we speak. And English is like a billboard of all the different languages. It's not like you can't say it's one nation specifically. It was a gathering together of different nations formed English. It's hard for us to clarify exactly everything, but the point of what Rabbi Nachman is teaching us is that there's a midah that needs to be fixed within each language, and that's what we see. What part makes sense of Golos, it wasn't just whatever. These souls had to go out there to fix up those different places and those souls and languages, and it came. The beautiful thing is nefesh. It's one soul that went into the world. Who's the soul? We're one soul. If we start getting maklokes of us, it's stupid because we're really one soul. That's why it's so ridiculous, Israeli politics and everything else, because we're really one soul. So we were arguing with ourselves, It's like, we're one soul. Let's just get that clear. Nefesh of Beit Yaakov bor begolos tachas. Remember, it's a loshen. It doesn't say nefashis. It says nefesh, the soul of Beit Yaakov, came begolos tachas yad shivim lashonis. Went into underneath these 70 languages. Hainu midasayim aran, and all they had not good attributes. As he ramas shivim kalin, and this is a very deep Breslov concept. There's 70 screams. Now, where do we see 70 screams? Shekodim haleidahi sakashivim kadim. The woman giving birth has to scream out 70 times. It's a famous concept of Breslov. In order to get mochin, new understanding, new consciousness, clarifying different aspects of life, you have to scream 70 times. It's a concept. So you go do a spot of this. He's talking to Hashem.
Have you heard that people go out into the forest?
Oh, for sure.
And they'll start screaming.
I'm camping, you're hearing them.
70 times?
I don't know if they're specifically 70. Maybe some are machbid 70 specifically, but it will end up Gedalia Fenster makes a joke. He's very good with this. He says when he's going through something in his business, 5 different nisyonis that happen with his many businesses, he'll say, this is already now 5 of those 70 that I needed to scream. And then as he goes through the day, another 5, Baruch Hashem, I'm getting closer. And then he gets past the 70 and he's like, clarity. Mochin chadashim, new understandings, and the business grows even more. Those constrictions brought new opportunity for growth. That's how he views the challenges in business. Rather than my tempo head, my stupid head, what does it do? I shouldn't put myself down, but it's true. Sometimes I think stupid. And I start getting upset. I'm like, what are you doing to me, Hashem? Like a baby, And instead of, this is an opportunity to scream to Hashem, He's helping my business, He's helping my life, He's helping my development, because He's giving me the opportunity to scream to Hashem. Shivim Tevim b'mizmor yancha. When do we see this concept of 70 words, not just in Kiddush? Rabbi Nachman brings down in the yancha. Yancha we say every day when it's not a Yom Tov or Shabbos. We say Lam Natseach, we say in between Ashrei V'Litzion, after Shmoneh Esrei, we say the Psalm 20. Psalm 20 is Yancha. A lot of people say it at a time of difficulty. It's a whole. That's why we don't say it on Rosh Chodesh as well. Huh?
Yeah, how does it go? Yancha.
Hashem b'yom sarah. Save me, answer me on the day of suffering. We say it every day. Look how familiar it is. Lama Sam Izmor Dod Yancha Hashem b'yom sarah. Hashem Elokei Yaakov Yishlach Ezechem B'Kodesh Tziyun V'Tzedech, and then it ends off Hashem Mashiach Melech Yineini V'Mkreinu. We say it 70 words there. By one of the Pshat I once saw from Likutei halachas, you shouldn't take off your Bein Tam or Rashi. Sorry, that was before Bein Tam. You shouldn't take off your Rashi before you've said that psalm. That's because there's a very important connection between tefillin and that psalm. That's another. But that's it's also in that one, yeah.
It's not. It's funny you say that because
Psalm 20. That's my pasuk. Eliezer.
When my wife was having baby, I remember one of my kids. He will say this.
Yeah,
say
70 kolas.
Which is interesting because I thought this is so funny. In my head, I thought it was wow, like all your special equipment for pregnancy, giving birth, and hospitals. And
well, that's true also.
Yeah, that's true. But I know that.
But now you know it's the 70 kolas, the voices that give birth.
Yeah.
So that was probably why he sent you to that psalm, Psalm 20. Yeah, without these 70 cries, there won't be any birth. A woman would never give birth in history except without. So you say, I don't always hear a woman screaming. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a physical, you go to hospital. I remember when I used to go and my children were being born, and you'd hear all these screaming going on. And my wife didn't do that, and a lot of women don't. Not every woman screams like that, like going, they don't. Not every. It's not about physical. It's no. She never had any epidural or anything like that. But the point is that it's not about the physical. We're talking about obviously a pneumonia scream. Yeah.
But they didn't have to do this. They didn't have to do the screams pre the sin.
Of course. This is all Golos. This is fixing up the 70 languages. We wouldn't have these 70 languages. We wouldn't have these 70 nations and these midas that need to be fixed if we didn't have to go to Golos. Golos is, we're fixing Golos. We're screaming, by screaming to Hashem. But that's our reality. We're not in pre-Chay Adam Rishon. We're after Adam Rishon, and we're after Eliezer, and we're in Golos. We're after Chum Beisim. We're in Golos. We're at the end of days, and the advice of Rabbi Nachman is to scream to Hashem. This is the rule for all of the souls of Yisrael. So the reality is, and it's a very important rule, and this is a very big Breslov Torah, that the souls of Yisrael, before they can reveal Torah and Avoda, we're talking about real Torah and Avoda, they need to join up with the nefesh in Golos of what? The 70 languages. And what comes with those 70 languages? What are these bad attributes? Tivas. All different kinds of tivas, desires. We all have to fight it off, every one of us. It comes in all different ways. And they come through the attributes of being in Golos. And through these 70 screams, we fix it up. And then what? Ki is galas hi bechinas later. Then we can give birth. Ki kodem is galas shel Torah, azay bechinas ibo. Before that we're able to reveal, we have to first scream, and then there's a revelation of Torah, and then we have this birth, this ibo, but the aspect of ibo. And the Torah is what? Hidden. Ibo means it's the pregnancy. So the pregnancy, it's not the birth. Pregnancy later is the birth. The Ibo is the pregnancy, and the Torah is hidden from us, and it's inside the beten, the stomach of the person. So you're in a state of bechinas anochi aste. We all learn this famous pasuk. I just heard Rav Yosef Kaduna sing it in front of the whole Eish Kodesh community who covered the PSS as YITZCHAK, who was today. We had the Eish Kodesh Chusanenu, and he was singing this beautiful song anochi aste. That we're even filu bastara, and even in the hiddenness, Hashem's going to take us out, give us proof, screaming to Hashem, talking to Hashem. Before you can get to the fruit, you're going to have to go through the klipa, the covering. And that's everything in life. To get to the good, you have to go through the shell. To go through the hardships, through the challenges, and to reveal the good. You have to break the shell. Before we can reveal it. And then there's a revelation. Yeah. So that's the process.
That's like I told you, Rabbi Leo D was talking about how we're in like possibly the worst point of Jewish history right now.
Yeah.
And any time that there's something super bad, childbirth or
Yeah.
any of these other examples, that is when the Geula comes.
Yeah, so but the birth is in the end a blessing.
Right.
So we were praying for these,
Right,
but we have to go through the 70 screams to bring it out. We have to express ourselves to Hashem, what we're feeling. Don't hold it in. Don't start having chas v'shalom. People get ill from holding it in. You have to scream to Hashem to save us, and that is something we can do through tefillah, through learning, through hitzbodedus, through.
Oh, sorry.
There's all kinds of times that we can scream to Hashem, and we should all do that. Hashem should give us koach, and we should see the full Leder, the full simcha of Geula and YITZCHAK, Mesach, and all the midas, and Mizarka to the full Kiddush Hashem, the Kovod Hashem will have when and it's through Am Yisrael this tikkun for the nations will come. Through us, we have to scream.
Do you need a right song?
I have a left. Thank you. Shkoyach, YISRAEL.
Thank you so much.
Have a good davening. Scream to Hashem.